Why are you working so hard? That's the question that you need to answer. Now, past few days I've started rereading this book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I read this once before and I'm rereading it because I frankly have no books left to read. In this book, David always tells us that you need to have your answers to the why questions when you are in trouble, right? It basically means that whenever you are in tough situations, you already need to have the answers of your whys. For example, like it's very easy to think that why am I fighting when you are sitting on your cozy couch and you have a warm coffee with yourself and you are relaxing, you are thinking on strategic moves. But when you're actually executing them, when you are actually executing that 5 kilometer run on the 4 kilometer mark when 1 kilometer is left and your knees are hurting, then this question becomes so important that why am I even running? Like, what's the point? I've already done 4 kilometers. That's more than 95% of the people will ever do. Why? That's the question which haunts us the most in those situations. So, it becomes much more important for us to have the answers to these questions prior to getting into these situations, right? Like, for example, for the past few days, I've been actually going downhill. Like, I normally used to work around 5 to 7 hours a day with my usual chores, which I had to do every day, obligations. And recently, I've been working around, for the past 4 days, I've been working around 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. And now, the question that why do I need to work becomes so much more important. Because I can say that, okay, I'm going to the gym, that will make my physique good. I'm writing every day, which will improve my writing skills. And I'm coding every day. Like, even if I work 3 hours a day consistently for the entire year, I will have made more progress than 90% of the people. That means I will have a pretty balanced and a good life. So, why am I working so hard? And then the answer to these questions, which we need to have, comes becomes really important because for me specifically, for me personally, I don't want to be just greater than 90% of the people. I don't want to be greater than 95% of the people. I want to have an aura that matches Sung Jinwo or Gojo. Uh, in specific terms, I want to be someone like Elon Musk, someone like Alexander the Great, someone who will be remembered in history, which made some kind of human innovation, which pushed human boundaries 200 years. So my goal is to be someone significant, a person who brings positive change to this world, who pushes human innovation 200 years faster. And for that, I can't just work 3 hours a day, right? Because there were people like Bhimrao Ambedkar who worked 18 hours a day. Then there is this man, David Goggins. He did Hell Week thrice. He raced 100-kilometer runs, 100-mile runs. He even did the ultra marathon, and the Badwater races. So he did all these feats. Then there is Elon, obviously. Then Alexander the Great, Caesar, whose name was taken as a title for the kings for 2000 years after his death. Like the king of Russia was called Tsar or Caesar, or the king of Germany was called Kaiser, and all these names came for Caesar. So these people had significant impact on the world, and I want to have an impact which is comparable to theirs. Why? Because that will make me someone that will push me to a boundary which I never thought I could be. First of all, second of all, it would make me in a it would turn me into a different human being, because obviously these were the exceptions, and if I am comparing myself to them, to their standards, slowly I will start to be an exception. Plus, that will make me the best version of myself, frankly. So that's my why. Why am I working so hard? And each day before getting out of bed, when I want to sleep 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, heck, even a minute more, I have to remind myself that you are not chasing the ordinary. You have to work harder than everyone. Yes, working smarter is great, but you have to work both harder and smarter. That's my why. Why do I want to run? Why do I want to run? Because I'm already going to the gym. I'm already walking every day. Why do I need to include this other activity? Because I want to be able to be fit enough to to play soccer or do boxing later in my years. I don't want that the next time when I go to a boxing class, he first tells me to improve my cardiovascular system. I don't want that. And that's my why for running. And then the other why is, why am I coding? Why? Why do I have fun debugging code? Because I love to solve problems. It's fun to not know the answer and then try to find your own answer. And then you see the correct answer, and you know that that was the brute force approach which you did, and which is not optimal, which is not great. It just solved the problem, but it was not how the problem was to be solved. It was a inferior kind of approach. And why am I writing? Because obviously the most important thing in humans, the thing which put us higher than the Neanderthals, the Homo erectus, the chimpanzees, and all these animals, was not our intelligence, it was our ability to work together. And how do humans work together? By stories. By uh, if five people believe that this piece of paper has value, then it has value. And that's how money was invented, because a collective group of people said that okay, this piece of paper will be traded for a dozen bananas, and that gave that piece of paper power. But intrinsically, that piece of paper had no power, right? It's just a piece of paper. You can't eat it, you can't drink it, you can't use it as a shelter. But when enough people heard the same story and believed it, it had power. And how do you make people believe your story? By being good at telling them, by being a good storyteller. And how do you be a good storyteller? By first of all knowing what is the story you want to tell. Second, by having the ability to communicate your ideas to others in a way that they can understand. Right? This is why I make these talking head videos, so that I hope that eventually I will be good enough to communicate my ideas to others in a way that they can understand my logic, understand the story which I want to tell them, believe in it. And that's why these are my whys, right? So let's get back to the topic. Why is the most important thing which we need to ask, and these are my whys. But now my question to you is that what is your why? Because whenever I go through a hard situation, whenever I don't want to wake up and I have indigestion, I have cramps in my body, I don't want to work, I have these whys ready that okay, this is why I need to work today. Okay, this is why I need to go to the gym today. Okay, this is why I need to go to run today. Okay, this is why I need to read 50 pages of this book today. But it becomes very difficult if you don't have them. Like, just think about it's a groggy morning. I I haven't slept well. No one is waked up awake at the house, in my house. It's cold. The fan is still on. I'm feeling feverish. Why would I want to wake up if I didn't have that why? Why? So it's very necessary that you have these whys and you answer them before getting into a tough situation. Because then in that answering that in that cold foggy morning when you are shivering and the fan is still on and it's cold, then reasoning yourself that okay, I need to wake up because I need to work. I need to work because I want to be someone. I want to be someone so that I can provide for the people I love. I want to provide for the people I love so that so that they can have a good life. If they can have a good life, then that means I will have some satisfaction and contentment that I as a man was able to give others, to give the people I wanted to give. Like reasoning so much in that situation, in that tough situation, would be kind of impossible, right? And that's why the goal of this entire video is to make you answer these tough questions which we normally never think about. Like who thinks about? We always think about that what we need to work on, how we need to work on. But we never think why do we need to work on something? Why do we need to work so hard? And it's important to answer these whys because the whats can be replaced but the whys can't be. If something isn't working, you can just replace it that with other thing which can work. But if you don't know the whys, that why is it not working, then obviously the pattern will restart, and then the thing which you found that was working, it will start to not work again, and then you have to hop on to another thing which you think will work, right? So that's essential, and I urge you to actually, after this video ends, take some time out of your day and actually think about these things. It's very necessary that you think about them because if you don't think about them, people will tell you their answers. If you don't have your answers, your own answers, then people will give you the answers that they think is right. If you don't know that eggs are healthy and someone tells you that they are unhealthy, then you will have to believe them because you don't know, right? When you were a kid, you didn't know that 2 plus 2 was 4. Your teacher told you it's 2 plus 2 is 4 and you believed it. So, ironically, it's true. It's 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's good. So you have to have the answers to the questions which are most important to you. And the way I like to think about these questions is walking slowly without any distractions and just thinking about them. Like obviously you can journal them, obviously you can write on your journal notebook or on a doc. You can do anything. But what I like is to just roam around on the terrace or on a garden in the night and just think about these questions that okay, why? Why was my relationship not successful? Why couldn't I clear JE? What's the one thing that's stopping me from achieving my goals? What's the one habit that I don't like? Why do I crave success so much? Why do I care for other people's opinions? Why am I insecure? Why am I proud of myself? What are the things I did to be proud of myself? Can I stand up straight and look people in the eye and have some respect for myself? Why do I think that I need to have some respect? Was there anything which I ever did to get that respect? And what are my dreams? Are they important? Are they necessary? What is the purpose of my life? What is the inherent meaning of my life? Am I here to just suffer? Am I here to have fun? Am I here to fulfill my ambitions? Am I here to innovate something new? Am I here to change the world? Or am I here to master myself? All these questions we need to ask ourselves because these questions are the seeds from which the plant of a life will grow, right? These are the foundations these are the foundation bricks on which the building, which is our life, will be laid on. And it's very necessary that you answer these questions, that I answer these questions. This video is not just for you, it's for me as well, because most of the time we dodge these important questions. Why? Because we don't want to think so much. If you are in that Socratic phase of life and you always ask and go into your curiosity that why, then there is no answer. Because for every question, for every answer, there is a why. Why is it true? But you still have to take the time out and and think about these things because it's necessary. They are necessary. If you don't have the answers, someone will give them to you. And if you don't think yourself, you will be forced to believe someone else thinking. Yeah, thank you. And if you want to read great letters which I wrote myself, the first link in the description, all free.